Hey, yo, kid.
Watch out for the jab.
What's going on, guys?
Hello.
This is People Call Me Jay.
Young Al.
This is Breezy Randall. And this is the Jab Podcast.
Let's do it.
Whoop, whoop. So, y'all's feet still vibrating from that show?
Yeah, I think I had
Yeah.
like 5 heart attacks.
Yeah. It's something, man. When you're standing that close to the base.
Yeah, it was really cool. There was a point where I told you, it's like, you can, like, feel it in your body.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like some, like, I'm on drugs type shit. But, like, you could feel, like, the vibrations in your body.
So, we went to a show last night at Stereo Live. We actually just bought the tickets. Didn't even listen to the artist. Just went. And it was really cool. The artist was Eptic.
Mm-hmm.
And it was badass, man. The thing that I think is funniest about those shows is, like, I was relatively sober, and watching people who are that fucked up is so much fun when you're sober.
So many people just gone. Zombies, dude.
Exactly, zombies.
Zombies
Yeah,
just
interesting.
swaying.
The most friendly group of zombies you've ever did meet in your entire life. It's like Disney Channel zombies.
For you. I can say for myself, it's not my ideal place to be, man. Yeah, I personally...
A place with Alec being bumped into and constantly rubbed up against is
Yeah.
not a place for
and
Alec.
having guys like hit on your girl and shit, like
Yeah.
man. I get it often, but I don't like to go put myself in those situations. It's just negative. I like to work on myself, and I feel like that brings me down because of like anger and shit. So
That makes sense.
I try to stay away. And the music, personally, I wouldn't listen to in my car or like outside of my. I enjoy the experience, but I can't see myself going back.
I think it's just, like, the energy at those shows is really cool. Like, I see people, like, dance harder there more than, like, any other concert I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, like, pretty used to that scene because I used to do promotion in Minneapolis for a few years for EDM shows. So, like, I, like, do really well in that element. Like, I think I, like, talk to more people at, like, those type of shows and, like, in public or at different events and stuff.
It's a really interesting subculture.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people that I think it's a place the same way that hip hop draws a certain group of people that need that like shelter of that genre. It's the same thing for those guys. And the common thing when you look at those people at those shows is like you probably think that everybody's on drugs or like really fucked up or whatever. But like I'd imagine there's some people who go there and that's like therapeutic and like relaxing.
Yeah, they enjoy it.
Yeah, relaxing for them.
And yeah, from like Brock's perspective, like he submerged himself in the scene and he understands it. And for me, I don't really submerge myself like that and put myself out there. So maybe if I did that more, I would maybe enjoy it. But getting there would be a little hard for me.
Yeah.
So
I think that with that genre of, like, music, the live shows, I think, like, EDM more than other genres, you really don't have to know the artist to have a good time. Because you're just dancing to, like, no words anyway. It's just music. But I like personally going to concerts with artists that I know if they're going to be singing and stuff, so I can sing along.
and you enjoy it. And like the previous one we went to, I forgot the name.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. That was fun because he was playing like a lot of songs that I knew. It was very interactive with something that I've listened to in the past. This one was just a lot of like a Skrillex type thing, just a lot of wah wah wah. And
A lot of wow.
Some of those noises, I was just like, is something broken here? This guy, he's taking his time.
It's cool that a lot of those sounds that they make, though, like, that sound's never been done before they do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had a good experience. Like we were chilling out, and we got to like get out of there and like sit down outside. So that was pretty cool. And like I was still listening to the music from outside to a certain extent, and just like interacting with other people. So I had a good time. It's just not my scene.
Yeah.
Like personally.
The next show that we go to, I think, should definitely be at White Oak. I love that venue so much.
I've never been there before.
It's great, man. You'll like it. At the end of the evening, like you can see the skyline, and it's just perfect. So I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for next shows coming up with that.
Yeah. Stereo Live is an interesting area because it's just a street of like strip clubs.
Yeah.
And stuff.
It's a dirty place.
You're gonna have some crazy experiences. I feel.
Dude, I went to Stereo Live for an artist that I actually saw with you for the first time, Big Gigantic.
Oh no, that you weren't with me.
No.
But
Well, I went to Stereo Live to watch an artist for a friend of mine's birthday party. He had like a little section, and the sections there are really small. They're about as big as this table. And the weirdest part about it was one of the girls that was there kept letting like random dudes in. So I'm facing out towards the stage, and every time I turned around, there's like one or two more guys. And
You had like VIP?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the weird thing is a lot of those people are just and I don't know if it's because they were just like really high or what was going on, but they just looked so shady and like they're up to something. And I kept turning around and looking, like we had all of our drinks on the table, and I saw like guys like looking down at our drinks, like with their hands ringing. It's like, oh god, yeah. So I was with a girl, and I just told her, I was like, ditch your drink, like you just don't drink your drink, because there's like 6 dudes behind us. This is a small space, and who knows what those guys are on. And I was like, yeah,
really, like that was that insane.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, that's fucking random.
Because again, they could have just they could have been just turned up, and I was misreading the gestures and facial expressions. But I was
I feel to a certain extent you can never be too safe.
Yeah.
If you do feel a little suspicious, like there might be something going on.
Dude, that same friend, the guy whose birthday it was, he actually did get roofied at one point.
Really?
He was out with his cousin. And
hell no.
They got drinks, and he drank both of them. Like drank both of the drinks that they got. And then he was like he pooped himself and was like puking, and he was like really sick and didn't remember any of it.
I've always heard that if you have to question it, it's not worth it to drink it.
There
For sure.
Go. That's how
For sure.
That's how I feel.
I'd be interested to see go to some different types of concerts.
Yeah, I'm down to do like any type of genre. For real.
I want to go to a just straight up polka concert. Yeah. German, just as German as it gets.
Wisconsin as hell.
Yeah.
Do they have polka concerts here?
No, I don't think you'd even call it a concert if it's polka.
It's probably just like a bar.
Yeah.
Like they're probably not selling out.
What's that thing called with... you know what I'm talking about? Where they use it for polka?
Accordions.
Like, accordion, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a guy with an accordion.
Yeah, just one.
That's the original band. DJ right there.
Yeah.
You know how they have the noise little sound pad?
I mean, yeah, that guy pulls up even in like the Hispanic culture. Like it's going down. He's gonna play every song. Yeah. And they're all singing along.
You know what would be really fun to do? If we went out in public somewhere with an accordion and just saw how long we could get people to sit and watch when we didn't know how to play, and just pretend like we're prepping to play, and see how long. See how long we can keep people's attention, and just like, all right, guys, here we go, and pretend we're setting everything up, and like, hold on 1 second, and act like we're adjusting stuff, and just put a timer on and see how long we can do it for.
But never play.
Never play a note.
Oh, we're not playing a note.
No,
not even faking it.
Yeah, you just
setting up.
See how long you can get them to stay around.
You have to be a good ass, like good at putting on a show of
you
nothing.
You gotta look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
exactly. We're like like Lederhosens, or I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that means.
Lederhosens.
I think it's something that people who play accordions wear.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's accordion wear.
Oh.
Anyone who wants to fact check that, send it to the Jab.
So we're gonna answer one of our questions that we got from one of our viewers this week. By the way, thank you guys so much for sending those in. It's really entertaining. Some of them we can't really like answer these questions.
Yeah, they're pretty out there.
Yeah, but the first one we have here is Al. You want to take this one?
Yeah. So it's Angela Jean. She asked, "What are the turnoffs that you usually find in women amongst the three of you?" So what basically turns you off that girls do?
Okay.
Jordan and I had a conversation about something that turns him off today. I thought it was pretry interesting.
Okay. So one of my biggest turnoffs is I'm a fitness professional. I train people and work at gyms. And one of the things that I'm not a big fan of is CrossFit body girls. And I don't mean that like, in the sense of like girls shouldn't have muscles. I mean like CrossFit body girls. And a lot of you might know, Al, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're working out different muscles that aren't really critiquing a body type.
They're real wide in the shoulders and just narrow in the hips and like very manly legs. Yeah. It's just not my thing, like they're all core. I like a little curve, and it's just not. That's one of my biggest turnoffs is like a rigid.
Yeah, I mean, if you got bigger traps than me, I ain't really about it.
It's interesting because we saw this woman earlier that I thought was just gorgeous, like 10 out of 10.
She had a beautiful face.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, she's so hot, and you're like, you think so? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. But I don't see what you see, so. I thought she was very attractive.
But yeah, I mean, it's not just, it's more about like, I don't know why. I think I love mervs. That's what I like to call them. Muscly curves. Yeah, mervs.
Mervs.
But not
Sounds
just
like an old guy's name.
Not just muscles and not just curves, but mervs.
Hey, I'm going to have a drink with Merv. Yeah. We're drinking old fashions later.
Hey Merv, wake up. Get your head out of the toilet bowl.
Somebody say Merv.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest turnoffs that I find in girls is when they just randomly start laughing at things that aren't funny because they like a guy.
Yeah.
Just conversation-wise, and I'm just looking at them like, I didn't even say anything funny. Or that guy didn't say anything funny. I'm just like, oh, shit.
You know what's the funny thing about men is like I feel like it takes us a long time to realize that's what's happening. Like we just take all the first few laughs as like, well, I'm just funny.
Yeah, I'm a comedian. I might go on stage pretty soon.
It's like, this is going really well. She's laughing at all my jokes. And then after a while, it's like, oh, you're just doing it to make me feel good.
You just want to sleep with me.
I'm just like,
My eyes are up here.
I'm going to go to the restroom. And I'm like, what?
funny.
I've made some jokes to some girls before that I just got nothing. Or they're
That's
just-
And that's the girl you marry.
oh my god.
She'll put you in check real quick.
They're just like, what? It's like, you,
Dude,
Nothing.
Never mind.
I made a Holocaust joke one time to
Whoa.
a girl.
To a date?
Yeah.
You
And
were
I don't
really-
Why would you joke
You were
about
really
Holocaust?
pushing limits.
I don't quite remember how it went. I just remember like it was just terrible because I made the,
Roseanne looking ass.
I made the joke and she didn't say anything and then I tried to like explain it and then explaining the joke
Oh, that made it
sound even
worse.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. It wasn't. Oh guys, it wasn't even a Holocaust joke. It's so much worse. It was a 9/11 joke.
Oh. Holy. Oh, wow.
Oh man, it's horrible. I just wish I could remember it.
Me too.
If it comes back to me, I'll say it. I
All
just
right,
can't remember.
stay
what it was.
tuned.
I heard some pretty funny 9/11 jokes.
Do you remember when we first moved here and we wanted to go downtown and we were like, yeah, let's go check out the museum district. And we went to a Holocaust museum.
Yeah.
It was like early in the morning and we were so pumped and we went through it. And then by the end, we are just like, yeah, I kind of want to go home and take a nap.
I bet that was
Like,
sad.
Yeah,
it was
ruins your day.
horrible. And we just moved here. We're just like, we're in Houston. It's going down. And-
In my head, I imagine the curator like finds stuff online. He's like, "Yeah, that's so sad. Let's make a display for that."
Well, I
and
mean, they're not going to
videos.
show like happy times
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
Holocaust.
Yeah,
I don't know what I was
I
thinking.
doubt there was a game room in Auschwitz. You know, like
I just remember thinking like I'm gonna see some really like different things today, and
yeah.
they were definitely different. Yeah, wild. Well, back to the question.
oh yeah, we got
Oh, yeah.
so off topic.
Yep.
What don't you like in women?
Sorry.
Holocaust.
Sorry,
Rock,
Angela.
what's yours?
I feel like over the years, the turnoffs are becoming more like personality traits.
Yep.
And I think to me, like one thing is like, if I go on a date with a girl and she's really like, she never offers to like pay for anything and she doesn't say thank you for anything. And then another like thing is if she says a comment about like, oh, my dream is to not work or something like that.
Yeah.
It turns me off. It's
I want to
like,
be
what do you do?
stay at
Like,
home
what do
with
you
25 kids.
like what do you want to bring to the table to like make me feel good?
Yeah.
It's just something that when I hear that, I was like, ooh.
Houston has a weird thing. With a lot of the women are like that. Where
Yeah.
I don't know. It must be like a southern thing because you know, like in the south,
True.
like the man takes care of the woman, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, girls are just aspire to do nothing but have a rich husband or
You know, I'm
Yeah.
just all for equality, so
yeah.
I want to make sure we're on the same page.
You know, I saw something really cool on Instagram by a photographer named @DevMatic, and he was talking about the $60 date. Like that should be the thing. It's like your date you should expect to pay only spend up to $60.
like on the first date or
On
a
the fir-
date?
on the
Where's
first
he
date.
living?
He lives in Houston.
Oh shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but $60 is still a little expensive. You know, that's like 2 movie tickets. Sometimes.
On a first date, I'm definitely expecting to
Yeah.
pay
Yeah,
60 bucks.
Yeah, I try to do freebies.
Freebies are good,
Mm-hmm.
especially when money's tight. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to spend your last dollar
Yeah,
on
in
a
a
date,
practical way.
especially if it doesn't go
Oh,
well.
if it goes bad.
Yeah,
Mine was ice cream.
ice cream's the best
Yeah.
one
Good.
because it's like you can run away from ice cream.
And usually she's not going to eat a lot of ice cream.
You know what's funny, Alex? You described a date that I had went on when I first moved to Texas.
Really?
Yeah, when you said you walked to met up at a movie, walked to get ice cream. I went on that same date
Yeah.
when I moved here from a girl.
That's what
I used
assumed
an
was
app
practical.
called Plenty O Fish.
Maybe it was the same girl,
Like
like R. Kelly and
no.
Usher song.
I hope so.
Yeah.
No. This was
I did sing
this
that.
was a crazy ass girl. This girl wasn't this crazy before.
You
we
made her
dated
crazy?
after. I don't think so. But yeah, we went on that same date in the Woodlands. It's cheap.
Gotta
like-
love cheap dates.
Yeah, I spent like $15 because she paid for the movie tickets.
Nice.
I got there and she was waiting inside. She bought them already. I was like,
Hell
perfect.
yeah.
Didn't even give you an option.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Woodlands is pretty
Dude,
place.
when I first moved here, I didn't really get the weather. So like, I'm a sweaty guy as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now in the studio, I'm sweating and it's like 72 degrees in here.
It is
first
exactly
moved
72 degrees in here.
And I was wearing like a jean button-up shirt, you know, like a blue jean shirt. And I was sweating my dick off just from like walking
Did
to
you
the
find
car.
it?
Just from walking to the car to inside the theater, just dripping in sweat. And then when she wanted to walk around after, I was just pouring sweat off my face. There's no way to feel like cool and casual on a sweaty ass date.
Brock started this new thing where he's been trying to wear jeans as much as possible throughout this summer. How's it been going?
Protesting the heat.
How's it going?
It's fine. I wore pants last night. I was real sweaty.
Are you sweating your dick off?
No, it stayed on. It stayed on pretty well.
It did.
I just feel a certain way
Jordan
when
saw
I
it
wear shorts.
A couple nights ago.
Yeah, it's good to know it's still there.
Dick print shorts.
Dick print.
DPS. Yeah, I don't know. I feel more confident in pants. I think I like the way they look on my outfit better. So I only try to wear shorts for like working out or dick appointments or just chilling. Like right now, I'm wearing some basketball shorts, but I'm not going out. You know, I don't really like wearing shorts going out.
Is it
I
'cause
think
you-
Personal opinion.
that goes back to the question of what I feel is a turnoff in a girl is real. Like, how real can I be with you?
Yeah.
And wear something like that, or you can wear something like that around me, no makeup, stuff like that. It's like, how real can we get? And if we can be on the same level about that,
yeah.
don't have to dress up all the time.
I think it's more of a personal thing. Like I'll feel better about myself, so I'll have more to give.
That's true.
So and I'll say that to girls and they're like, "Oh, I think shorts look good on you. Like you look cool in shorts." I'm not trying to just like talk myself up, but like,
Hey,
they
baby,
said that
shorts
they don't-
look amazing.
They said that they don't mind or think I look stupid, but it's just a personal thing. Like I don't really like wearing shorts. That's just a personal thing. Like I don't think like all people in shorts look like fucking doofuses. But, I just personally like wearing pants. So I've worn pants in 100-degree weather here, and it sucks, but I feel better about it. Unless I get swamp ass and stuff.
Yeah, swamp ass.
But at least I look cool. Because only I know that I have swamp ass.
No. It's pretty easy to catch on. Like when it's like 103 degrees outside and like humidity is just crazy. It's like you see a person in shorts or pants, you're like, I can guarantee you that ass crack is dripping.
I was at the mall, and it's an outside mall. I saw someone in like a jean jacket, sweatshirt underneath, and then like jeans on. I was like, this dude.
Denim top and bottom.
Yeah, he looked fresh, but
yeah,
he's
it's
pushing
not
the
worth
limits.
It's worth it.
It isn't.
Maybe not the jacket. Pants, I'm cool with pants.
Yeah.
I saw somebody, we were in the car together, and it was super hot.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody in jeans, like, you know they have to be hot.
Yeah, because that guy looked like he had a sweaty ball sack.
Oh, yeah, it was when we went to Walmart. That's when we saw the attractive girl from our last episode.
Yeah.
I saw a guy walking into Walmart, just jeans, but I also think it's not out of the ordinary for people to wear pants in the summer.
Yeah. Well,
Like, it's not only me that thinks that, you know.
You know how I know that it's such a like Houston's too hot is because it's such a big deal that they're building a swimming hole here. Like a city of like 3 million people, and they're like, we're building a swimming hole.
They
like
just decided.
yeah.
It's a man-made
Just all of a sudden.
yeah.
I didn't see that. They're building a swimming hole? Like downtown?
Yep. So Houston's making a swimming hole for everyone to put it on the map and keep summer a little cool.
Cool.
And we're actually gonna go out to Axelrad, and what they're doing is they're doing a fundraiser to raise money for Houston.
How long do you
And-
think before someone dies?
In the swimming hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Swimming holes are notorious for deaths.
I mean,
You
red
think so?
granite.
Yeah, so the swimming hole back home, there's a plaque before you walk up with like all people's names that died this year.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, it's just like a monument. People are definitely gonna die in the Houston swimming
Yeah.
hole.
Whenever I hear swimming holes, I think of over by like Austin area. Like we
Yeah,
went to that one
Barton
swimming
Springs.
hole.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
Fucking
Barton Pool,
tight.
or yeah, but
Hamilton, right?
Hamilton Pool.
Hamilton
That's,
Pool's cool,
that,
too.
that I feel like is the thing with Houston is so there's just so much trash just like blowing around that if we put something nice like that up, it's gonna be filled with
And
needles. In a
so
month.
many people.
Yeah,
So many people.
So many
peeing
people.
in the water.
I wonder how big it's going to be.
It has to be huge.
It's gotta be
It's
big.
gotta be big.
The closer they put it inside the loop, the bigger it has to be.
Yeah.
So for a swimming hole, I'd imagine that you don't charge people for that, right? So if a bunch of
One
homeless
would
people,
think.
if a
Not
bunch
in
of
Houston.
homeless
They
people-
charge for everything.
Yeah, that's
Do you
true.
think if a bunch of homeless people came to the swimming hole and like got in, like they would kick them out, or they would be like,
Oh, for sure. Police will find a way to find a
Yeah.
law like you can't be here. They always do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing with homeless people is like they're not all. It's like, they don't all fit that same
Mold.
mold. When I went to Hawaii,
Oh, sure.
I went to Hawaii once, and I hung out with a homeless dude the
Yeah.
entire time I was there.
Whoa.
the whole time.
I think in like Cali and Hawaii, some people are just
wanna hear the
homeless by
story.
choice.
Yeah, that's what this was. His name was Pedro, and
Were you hung with him the whole time?
yeah, every day. It was like we got up and like got excited to go hang out with Pedro. My brother and I, we left the hotel in search of weed, as young men do.
Of
And we were walking down the street, and this guy was selling banana leaf things like roses and hats, and we're like, that guy
tight.
definitely smokes weed.
Yeah,
He looked like
sure.
he kind of looked like Mod's son.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we go up to him and like it was the weirdest. Like we like sat down and asked him about his leaves shit, and then just kind of asked him for weed. And he said that he couldn't help us, but he knows someone that could. And we'd walk past this guy when he was like sitting like typical homeless guy, sitting with a box in between his legs with a shirt off on the side of the corner of the street on the post, like just chilling. So he walks over there. First he has to see our IDs, I guess, because he wants to see that we're not like local or something. I don't know what it is. So we walk over there, and his name's Pedro. He gets up, and he's like, yeah, just follow me. And he's like probably like mid-20s, like 25, 26. He has a big backpack, and he's like, follow me. So like idiots,
That sounds like an undercover cop
I know.
situation. Like,
So-
let me see your IDs.
And we didn't even question it. You know what I'm saying? So we follow Pedro off of the strip and into an alleyway. And no, wait. So we follow Pedro off of the strip onto into an Apple store. And he goes into the Apple store, and we're just kind of like, what the, what's going on? And he uses one of the test phones to call his dude, like one of the phones that are like out there on the displays. Yeah, he uses one of those phones to call his guy, and we're going to meet up with his guy. And we ended up hanging out with those two dudes every day. And Pedro went to jail 2 days before we left. Pedro went to jail. We couldn't find him. Like, it's funny because he was so easy, like he's so homeless that you could just kind of like walk to a certain part of the street.
You
Like
just knew
Pedro's
where he
gonna be
was.
there. So we asked the banana guy about it because Pedro didn't have shoes, and we bought Pedro's shoes,
Oh, that's
and we
nice.
were gonna give them to him because we didn't want to leave without giving him the shoes. And the banana guy's like, "I'll just take them.
Nice.
I'll give them to him." But he
He
just
damn well-
you could feel like the banana man's struggling too. So
Banana man.
Pedro got out that the night before we left, and he said he went to jail for something, and we gave
Drugs.
him shoes, and he was super appreciative. Like, he was, and the coolest thing is, like, we were young kids, and we had like mom's credit card at that point, and she's like, go have fun. And he never asked us for anything. Like, we got him a beer one night, or he got us beer, so
Probably
we got
just
him a
happy to
beer.
hang out with someone.
Yeah, and he never asked for anything. Like, we smoked with him. We just went to like different parks and smoked, and he was really cool.
Yeah, I feel like homeless people are just so random, and some people just don't want to live in a home.
Yeah,
They
that's
just
what he was like.
to be like in the world. But I can say Houston homeless people and Austin homeless people
They're different.
are insane.
Yeah.
I was walking in Austin, and there was this guy under the bridge, and it was me and Sylvia, and he was jacking off at us under the bridge. And I was at a moment I was like, do I say something
Yeah.
or like do I just get stared
Stop
at?
jacking off.
As a man, that was very uncomfortable.
What constitutes being jacked off at? Like, is his dick pointing at
That's
you?
what I
or is he-
Hey, look at me.
yeah.
I felt violated, and then I'm like, if I do say something, is he gonna get up, and then I have to deal with like,
He
all-
still got his dick out.
and like if
can't
he
fight someone
grabs
with
me with
their
his
dick out.
hand,
Hey,
like,
over here.
Oh, he's got dick hand.
Yeah, dude.
Classic case of the dick hands.
So
I also, with homeless people, I think every homeless person's story is so different.
Yeah.
I mean, well, not everyone is so different, but there are a lot of different stories of how they got there. So you can't really generalize and say just like, oh, homeless people suck, because some of them just have like misfortunate like stories.
they're just.
And there's cool homeless people like you
Yeah,
said.
Pedro.
Well,
Shout out to Pedro.
Yeah, shout
That's
out
cool
to
that you
Pedro if you're
took
listening.
I guess hung out with him. That's
Yeah, my mom was really mad because she asked us. She's like, "What do you guys do the whole time?" I was like, "Oh, we hung out." Like when she heard we hung out with a homeless guy the
That's
whole time
weird.
we were on vacation, she was not comfortable with it.
I'd be concerned too if my kid
Yeah.
was doing that.
Dude, every time I go on vacation, it's never the traditional experience. Like it's
the
always
way
like
to do
we
it.
always like get on some like under the boardwalk, so to speak, type of stuff.
Yeah.
Under the boardwalk.
Yeah. But and it's so dangerous when you're that age. Like when we were in Florida one time, and again searching for weed, and some guy with Savage tattooed on his forearm, little dude. My brother found him, and the plan was he was supposed to go find someone and then like come back to us, and we'll all go with him, so that way nothing shady happens. But he didn't come back to us. He just kept going. Like he walked to the guy and talked to him, and he just kept walking off off the boardwalk into like by these bathrooms. So my other brother and I like following him, like what, trying to make sure like we're like trying to sneak and make sure. But it was all good. He was cool. We met up with him a couple times before we left, but it was just every time on vacation we just go into like shady situations. Like that sounds like such a bad idea. Like follow the homeless guy off the strip into the
that's
Yeah.
crazy. It sounds a lot similar to my story. I went to Barbados with Connor. Yeah, shout out Connor. And he was on the beach. We're on the beach, and we're like, yeah, let's get some weed. Like hell yeah, we're in Barbados on vacation. I want to
yeah.
do it. So Connor's at the bar and he's asking this like the bartender like, hey man, where can I get some stuff? And like I'm sure that guy gets it all day,
Yeah.
so he knows, and we're not from there.
For
So
sure.
he calls up his homie, and some like weird short guy showed up, and he's like, I can get you any car on the island. Like, what's up? Like, we
Sounds
can
a
do
short
everything.
guy.
We're just like, we just want some weed. And he's like, all right, follow me to the bathroom. Like, there's this random hotel bathroom. So Connor went, and I was chilling because I was on the beach. I'm like, but I was following close behind.
Yeah.
So I was behind them, just like waiting for something to happen because I had Connor's back, but from a distance. So I went to the bathroom. Everything was cool. He came out, and then the Coast Guard rolls up with like 8 boats. And there's like they have machine guns and stuff because it's like a
Yeah.
different country, and we just run.
Yeah.
My mom was there too; she was running with us.
Yeah, that's a scary
Damn.
situation.
Yeah, so we just
Machine
ran,
guns?
and I'm like, Connor, drop it, and he's like, no. So he held on to it, and we ran off the beach, and then we went back to we got like a Airbnb or whatever, like a house, and we just were chilling there, and nothing happened. Great, we were very fortunate.
Damn, that's scary.
Still got to smoke.
Yeah.
But it could have went down, dude. I couldn't imagine
Yeah,
going to
'cause you
jail in
imagine
a
going to
foreign place.
Because of weed? I feel like they would be more chill about that in Barbados.
But since we're from a different country,
Yeah.
they would have like. I feel like they're looking for something because they were like they patrol the streets
True.
and all that stuff.
Do you know some places like in Jamaica, when you go on vacation, the drug dealers have to stand in the water. Like if you're at a resort, they can't come onto the shore. They have to stand in the water to sell you drugs because it's like
interesting.
technically
Off the-
yeah.
You're not
One of my
in.
friends, her and her husband just went with a bunch of people to Jamaica. And she was
I
want
wanna
to
go, dude.
She said they just pull out handfuls. Like she said, she had a big giant cup from like the bar she was drinking at. And those like cups like 3 feet tall, and the guy just filled it.
What?
Yeah, just pulled out handfuls and just filled it up for her. He's like, "Here, take this."
Wow.
Yeah, not like that in America.
Not like that
Not
at
at
all.
all. It's quite the opposite.
Yeah, a lot of regulations. And
Yeah.
stuff. Even where it's decriminalized and it's
Mhm.
recreational, like there's still so many regulations on where you get it from, and you have to get searched and ID'd and
Yeah,
stuff. It's-
I mean they can't even use the banks if you do sell it legally.
Mhm. Wow. I need a Diet Coke. Where's the Diet Coke?
Yeah,
Thanks.
and if you if you do like sell it legally, like in California and Oregon and
Mhm.
things, you can't even use the banks. Like you can't deposit the money.
Yeah, I gotta pay all cash and stuff. It's just crazy how much supply they have there and how much cash they have on hand,
Yeah.
and so that's why they have to have those extra like security measures. The ID checks, and only certain amount of people can be there. Not that there are things out that you can just grab and steal, but the more people in there, the more opportunity there would be for someone to start some trouble for sure.
Easily. I was hurt when it first like dropped, like they legalized things. I heard like all the owners were just getting robbed left and right,
Yeah.
like big money because they had to like go to their house or their safe house wherever they were storing it, and just like people just scope them out and just rob the shit out of them.
You know,
Mhm.
I've heard that there's a big influx of homeless people in a lot of the places where it's been legalized. I think a lot of people kind of, to me, I don't see how it correlates because like homeless people can't afford weed even if it is legal. It's like it's like, but
Wait, so they're saying that the homeless is caused because people are smoking weed more?
know that more homeless people have flocked to those places, like
Oh,
Seattle
because of the weed.
and Colorado and places in Colorado and stuff.
I mean,
Like hippie?
Well, homeless people, or people who can't afford their habits, find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, I guess honestly, the way I thought it was like people that are stoned are more likely to give you things if you ask them. like think of,
Like, be less stingy.
yeah, think
Yeah,
about,
man.
yeah, like
It's like, hey, what's mine is
I feel
yours,
like
brother.
You want my shirt?
Exactly. Like people just get so open when they're high. They're just like, take this. This is yours.
Yeah, I mean,
That makes
I
sense.
believe that there is actually a direct correlation though in the fact that like it's proven that there's more people in the area, but that could also be that there are more people that living in Denver now and stuff. Like I know Denver has a huge like homeless problem that's gotten worse over the past like 10 years or whatever. And I think that could be because there's just so many more people there in general.
Yeah.
And it's gotten so expensive that people can't afford to live in their houses that they were living in. So,
So
what are
they're
they
on the
going to
streets.
do? You know?
Yeah. There are a lot of places. There's a deterrent for homeless people where they find wherever there's places where like they tend to just lay. They have spikes that go up at nighttime. They put them down on the ground or in the ground, so they come up so we can't lay there. Like that's kind of brutal.
One thing that I heard that was happening in California, there was this really rich guy who was building the homeless like little shelters, not a house, but just like a multi-living space, like in an office and things.
Yeah.
And the government was tearing them down
Yeah.
just because of the laws. They're just like, no, like
That's-
they wanted
yeah.
them to be homeless and stuff.
That's
So
what I was saying. Like the police will find ways to, keep
manipulate the
homeless people
system.
in the system.
That's a subculture I'd really love to explore. Honestly,
Being homeless.
Yeah, because I grew up in shelters, like a couple shelters when I was a kid, but that was different because I was so young that they separated us a lot. So like the kids and the women were in like a whole different building. So like I didn't get to see a lot of that subculture. But I think it's interesting for sure because those guys, there's got to be a system, and it's not. I know it sounds weird to say that there's a system for homeless people, but I feel like there's like a trading system, and there's just like a cool, or there'd be something cool to be able to learn from it. And those people have insights. I mean, they go through some shit. Some of those people have a story.
Yeah.
There was this rap group that I was listening to. It's an older rap group, but the guy came out with a documentary on Netflix and was homeless for like a year. I forgot the name of the.
Is it Bone Thugs?
No,
It sounds like I think one of the guys.
one of them, something with like the same like type of genre. A guy made a documentary and just like dropped everything and just left his like mansion and went homeless for
by choice.
by choice.
Wow. I thought it was something like they fell off.
I think that'd be really cool
just
to do.
wanted to do it because he was like, I'm sick of like being around the people that are like rich all the time. He wanted a different perspective with his music and stuff, so he just took like a couple of years off and went homeless. And made a documentary on it. I'll find out by the end of this episode what it's called.
Homeless is kind of a flexible term, even though, because like you could be sleeping on someone's couch and technically be homeless.
Just for example, I know there are a lot of other musicians and actors and stuff like that, but like G-Eazy, after his first album, which did pretty well, before his second one with like that went platinum or whatever, he was living on couches, and he said he considered himself homeless because he didn't own a home. Yeah. And it's true, saying it's a fact, but he still had money and stuff. Yeah. Like he could get Airbnbs, but he was just sleeping on people's couches. So I think the term homeless is so like big. You can't say homeless people do this or homeless people do that.
Yeah, true.
I mean, we do as humans, as society, we put homeless people in this category, but it's really so broad.
So the movie was Skid Row, and it's a guy from the Fugees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who? His name is Pras Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he just dropped everything and went homeless, dude. It was a really cool documentary. I enjoyed it. Changed my perspective on things.
Ghetto superstar.
But also was like pretty bad in some of the scenes too. So
like he was sad.
Well, no, just like the people. Like he was homeless. Like he saw some scary ass shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So
they have homeless people have like a system of like symbols and stuff that they leave certain places to tell you what's going on there and things about it.
That makes sense. I mean, they probably don't carry like cell phones and stuff, so
yeah,
it's super intricate. It's so cool. I remember looking through like a guide of it one time. I was like, that is bizarre.
So like you can see like a random symbol and like a sign, and it could mean
they
something.
might tell you if it's like a place that's claimed, like a place like where it's like they're dwelling. I think some of them saw like danger here, like that either like the people that don't want you in that community. Or it's like a dangerous thing,
right?
Stuff like that, just to kind of give you a guide of like what's going on if you're new to the scene. And I love it. In my head, there's a guy that hands you like a laminated pamphlet with the sign. Welcome to homelessness.
The doors open.
Yeah. You're in the union now.
You have like a corporate training and stuff.
Here's your starter pack.
Homeless Corp.
They give you like a little powder bottle full of that color that just makes you look, homeless people's clothes have that color.
Just the color.
That dirty color. Like
just like a layer of dirt.
Yeah,
you have like a row of shopping carts, all different brands, like Walmart.
Broken wheels and stuff. Yeah.
There's one rule. There's
one.
no rules.
Yeah.
There's gotta be rules.
For sure.
But who enforces the rules of the homeless? Besides police,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's got to be a system.
Yeah.
Like there's probably in a community of homeless people like a hierarchy of like these people
like lead homeless person.
Yeah, these guys get the most drugs, so they're the leaders.
Yeah,
as sad as it is. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, it's another world, dude. It's insane.
Again, back to Hawaii when I was there. Before you drove into the place where like the hotels and stuff were, out on the outskirts, there were tent cities, like parks that were just tents and like all kinds of stuff that's just little makeshift homes.
So was that Honolulu?
Yeah,
they must have had more lax laws about being homeless.
It was a ton of them. Yeah.
Hmm.
Honolulu is beautiful.
I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. That's on my list.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we flew on a helicopter around where they shot like the dinosaur movie Jurassic Park. It was really cool, man. It's just beautiful up there.
It's so pretty.
Yeah,
that is cool.
And I feel like when you do travel more, you get more experiences, like the homeless guy thing. Like I wouldn't do something like that here, but I feel like in a new setting on vacation, I might do some random shit that I wouldn't do.
Gives you a story to talk about. This episode has been brought to you by Loon Paddleboard Company. We got to hit the water this weekend with the boards, and it was pretty awesome. What do you guys think?
Yeah, those things are badass, man.
Yeah.
I'm super happy that we got to try those.
They were some of the nicest boards I've used.
Yeah, I didn't know that there were inflatable paddleboards. Like, it makes it so much more helpful. When we were coordinating with the company, we were talking about, getting the boards, and I'm thinking, like, how am I going to fit this 12-foot board in my house?
car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In your whip, dude.
But I can just roll that bad boy up, put it in my back trunk, and we're good to go.
Roll that shit.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm learning how to do the standing paddleboards.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact name for it, but it looks badass. And I see everyone doing it, so I was practicing on these. And of all the other boards I've tried, this was the easiest. The weight was perfectly.
I'll say, like, for an inflatable paddleboard, it was a lot more durable and, like, sturdy than I thought it was going to be. Like, in my head, I was picturing, like, those, like, shitty mattresses you get. Like, I thought it would be, like, something like that. But it's, like, super sturdy and hard. Like, I was doing headstands on it. So go to LudenPaddleboardCompany.com. Check out their boards. They're great. Born in Wisconsin, actually, on the lakes of Wisconsin. So, shout out to W. Shout out Luden Paddleboards.
Oh, yeah. Tell them who sent you. So speaking of travel, we were talking about this earlier, about ideal travel places. And I was telling Jordan that I think my ideal, like, a lot of people think of, like, tropic when they hear vacation and travel. But for me, I think I would choose, like, snow and mountains over that personally. Like, what do you guys think about, like, ideal travel places? Because you mentioned Hawaii. Is that, like, your number one? Or is that a place that you want to go?
No, it's definitely not up there. Greece is up there for, like, my family aspect.
So
I want to
pretty,
see
too.
that. But now that I'm living in Houston and it is hot all year round, I would like to experience some cold and some mountains.
Yeah,
it's not too
team
mountainous
cold.
here. I would really enjoy that, like, just get a hot tub and, like, stare into the mountains and stuff. Like, that'd be cool to me. But I do want to see, like, islanding things, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'd be out there. But, yeah, definitely the mountains. Now that if you were like, hey, Alec, you want to go on vacation? Like, next week I'm going to the mountains.
Yeah.
But
It's so hot right now.
after that, I would definitely go on, like, an island or...
Yeah, for sure. What about
For
you, Jay?
myself, I really like places like one of my first spots I really want to go to is the Phi Phi Islands in Thailand.
Phi?
Yeah,
What?
The
Not-
Fiji?
Phi Phi, PHI.
No, I never heard that. Where's that?
Yeah.
It's in Thailand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thailand's on site.
Yeah,
though.
I love that. It's really cool. You've probably seen it before. It's a really popular little area.
maybe.
Mike B proposed to T Small there.
Oh,
That's where they got married.
Shout
Or
out Mike
shacked
B.
up.
Shaq.
Shout out Mike B. Yeah.
Shout out.
But I really like for some reason Thailand's always just been really appealing to me because it's such it's a simpler culture, but I feel like they're so busy that they just, like, built on top of each other, and I just love how, like, hectic and chaotic the cities seem, and, like, you might see, like, a Mercedes Benz rolling through and then a dude on a cart being pulled by a donkey, and that's really cool to me.
I have friends that have gone there, and they said it's really cheap.
Yeah,
It's, like, one of the cheapest places to travel to,
I've seen that. Yeah.
which is also a plus. You
Well,
gotta take in money when you...
You know the thing, and this isn't I don't think this would be something for you, but Alec and I are both darker in color.
I was gonna jokingly say it's because I'm white.
Well, yeah, and I think when we travel to places like that, we don't stick out quite as much. So, like,
Sure.
As, like, if I were, like, a white guy traveling somewhere, I'd be, like, concerned with that. That's a concern because, like, you're in another country. There's, they don't know. Nobody's.
Have you ever heard
Yeah,
stories
just
of black people going to China and everyone thinks they're like Michael Jordan and shit?
Yeah.
Because black people are so
Yeah.
rare. in China.
People always talk about how it's like we're so racist, saying every Chinese person looks like that's fucking racist too. To say every black person's Michael
Yeah.
Jordan.
Well, I think it's more so just like people that you don't see as often.
Yeah.
Like they just look similar.
True that.
Because I think the more immersed you get into a culture, you start to realize that not everyone looks the same. But if you don't see that type of people that often, like they're going to look pretty similar.
I think it's, but once because, like, so being mixed, a lot of people think all mixed people are my brother or sister. Like Alec and I could walk into a place and tell people we're brothers, and people would believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no questions asked.
I think that mixed people, we should get an entirely new label. We scrap mulatto and get rid of that because I hate mulatto. It's a stupid term. Do you know where mulatto comes from?
No.
So mulatto,
I know it's bad, but I
the
don't know,
root
like,
word is mule, like mulus, and it's Latin for mule, which a mule is a cross of a donkey and a horse.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Something about that's offensive to be called a donkey horse man.
Well, yeah, I'm sure when that term was created, there's hella racism and it was linked to.
For sure.
But I wonder why it was linked. Do you know the origin story? Why is it specific to mixed people?
because it's a mix. It's like that's what it is. It's like to mix
Oh,
and
oh.
combine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I was younger, my mom said that if anyone calls you mulatto, hit them right in the face as
Yeah.
hard as you can.
Yeah.
Just because
it's
it was-
comparable to
it was
N-word.
so bad.
It
Yeah.
should be.
I honestly didn't know growing up. I like recently found out that it was offensive, and that sucks. Like saying racist shit and not knowing.
I got
like,
called
thinking
that in like elementary school.
By like teachers, like adults would say that
Yeah,
to you.
like, oh, you're
a
mulatto,
boy.
and the kid said that to me like being racist.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you mulatto. I was like,
What?
yeah, and I remember I went home. That's when I asked my mom, and I was like, hey, mom, what's this mean? And then she was like, don't take that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my
Damn.
grandmother, when I was a kid, I asked her what the N-word meant, and she said it means ignorant. So, like, for me, that wasn't enough of a description. So, like, I didn't get that how negative the word was. So I just thought it meant ignorant. I thought it meant, like, another phrase for ignorant.
It's weird how racism is taught to you.
Yeah.
You know,
For
because
sure.
nothing it means anything like that until it's taught to you. And the way you feel about certain people, that's not natural.
Yeah.
Racism is taught.
Yeah. Totally.
Racism is definitely taught. One thing that I was thinking about today was growing up in Wisconsin, one thing that I didn't have was African American teachers. Like, I
very
didn't
good point.
have a lot of African Americans that taught me things growing up, and I think that made a skewed vision on like most of the things that
For
I
sure.
thought, especially with my father not being in my life. And I was having that conversation with Sylvia today on how like she's from Hempstead, and like most of her, she showed me a black history teacher, and he was just like black excellence. It was dope. Like he had like a suit on, just like chilling. I was like, I wish I could have been taught by people like that, so that
Yeah.
I knew that side of the culture and things. So I'm dabbling into it out here a little bit more, and I
Yeah.
think that's something that is gonna help me like grow in the future and things. So
I've never had a black teacher.
yeah, I've never, and I
I don't
think
think our schools had any.
No.
We had,
No.
like, one
I was
or
thinking
two,
about
maybe.
Appleton East and West, and I didn't know of one.
We had Sydney. He was the
That's the only
African
one.
American
Yeah.
club guy.
I didn't
That's
get to
what I
meet him
thought.
though.
Do you know what's fucked up is I didn't get invited to African American club. They came around and gave the cards to the black kids. I didn't get one. I had to just show up
Really?
and ask. I was like, "Hey, what's up? What are y'all doing here?"
How do they get that information? Do they ask like
Yeah, 'cause,
the
I mean-
office like who's black?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think
Well, they probably have a database. With,
I
like,
think it's
these-
something that
these
whoever
races.
the leader of the club produces, like who the black kids.
So
are.
they just
We
have to know.
don't- We didn't have a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
There was
No.
it was a small group.
Very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's been a life changing experience for me.
Okay, so we have our next question up here from Hopkins A3, and I actually know her pretty well. She's a good friend of mine. So shout out Amber, thank you for the question.
Shout out to
Shout
you,
out.
Amber.
Big shout out. I think she's over in like Norway right now on vacation. Check
Damn.
us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
That's
dope.
Norway.
Yeah.
Speaking of traveling,
It looks pretty cool.
Norway
She's over there
seems
for
cool.
2 weeks, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great vacation.
That's a long vacation.
Yeah, a lot of my vacations was like 4 or 5 days, but like 2 weeks is the way to go. But she asked, with the holidays coming up, how do you guys stay focused on your fitness and nutrition?
Think about the holidays already.
I know,
like that.
right? Yeah, once the holidays come around, people just kind of give up after October. Like, well, fuck it. I got all this candy to last me the next 3 months.
For me personally, because I totally get thinking about the holidays already. Because when summer comes to an end, like the end of August, I'm like, oh man, it's already gonna be September, which basically means it's October, which is Halloween, and then it's gonna be Thanksgiving already. Then, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
There's so much stuff right after
Yeah,
another.
events.
Yeah, so
Good
Like
ass
Jordan's
food.
birthday in September. That's
my
a
birthday in
big one.
October. Yeah. Gonna have-
Mine in March.
but your half birthdays in September.
Yeah.
We do half birthdays.
Celebrate, baby.
But back to the question. So, Al, let's hear yours first.
Okay, so one thing that I like to work on is every Sunday I at least try to meal prep for at least 70 to 80% of my week.
Yeah.
So that I know I'm going to mess up because during this time of year the food is good, it's getting colder, my diet's going to be a little messed up. So when I do eat bad, I like to substitute things for like testosterone that are natural that you would normally find like a test boost. So like I like maca, tribulus, fenugreek, just like plants that I could find, but I
Yeah.
get them in pill form at like the nutrition shop. Just so that if I do eat bad, it usually causes more estrogen, and I do feel it in the morning, so I like to boost that back up. Not every day, but just periodically. When I do go to the gym, I look at it as a job. Even if I don't want to go, I have to show up, because if I don't show up, I'm fired. And that usually gets me through my winter months, because if it's my second job, I
Yeah.
don't want to lose it. I need the money or whatnot.
true.
So those type of things. My workouts are based around, I like to visualize before I go in. So I at least have something written down so I can see what I'm going to do. I don't want to go in there and just be like, oh, let's maybe see what's going to
Yeah,
happen. And
just
then
look
I
at
end
the
up just
machines.
leaving. Yeah. So I like to have a little plan, maybe a little bit more cardio I add in to get my heart rate higher, so I can eat more. Maybe I know it's a
Yeah.
bad way to think of it. Maybe I'm working out for food, but at least I'm in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
I really like when it's cold in the cold months. I like getting a really good sweat going.
Yeah.
Because I just like leaving the gym when you're hot and sweaty, and then you go out and it's cold air. It feels so good. I love that
Hell
feeling.
yeah.
You know what's kind of interesting is listening to your routine and like how much it differs based off of our schedule. You're like, because Alec and I both have been. We actually like started our workout journey together. We thought we were so awesome, and so going back. What is this, like 5 years ago?
Around there.
Right, 5 years ago. I don't know what
Damn,
happened, but
been a
like
while.
Alec and I, we started hanging out and we went and got like some workout shirts together, and we
And-
put them on.
And it was when like the big craze, like it just started. Everyone was like pre-workouts, like all the Instagram stuff.
And we put the shirts on, and they just weren't as flattering as we thought they were going to be. I think Alex's shirts were like a size small, and my shirts we just didn't feel good about ourselves. But we started at the same time, so like we have a
Thank
pretty
you
good.
for letting me wear that, by the way, and not telling me about my little pudge.
So we both, I feel like, have gathered a lot of knowledge together over the last few years. So like with Alex, so Alex's schedule is a lot different than mine. I have a really good benefit of being able to go home in the middle of the day for a couple hours. So like what I do is I don't meal prep anymore. Is I just prep during that period of time, like to keep myself busy, because otherwise I fall asleep.
Like fresh food too.
Yeah, so I'll cook my food, eat, and then like prep what I need to. Usually it's not a lot of stuff, or I'll prep it in the morning. But you're right, prepping is half the battle when it comes to the holidays, because you're gonna get, especially if you work in like an office setting, even in a gym, people are gonna get their garbage food and bring it to you. I've had people
So many treats and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
I've had people stop by the gym with just like a tray of cookies, and I'm like, what in your mind? Why did you bring this here? Because now it's my problem. I can either throw this tray of cookies away and be an asshole, or just like hand them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so prepping to make sure that you're not hungry when you're off for those things,
Cravings.
but also like when it's Thanksgiving, go enjoy your meal. Like
Exactly.
indulge,
Yeah.
eat till your stomach hurts, whatever, you'll be fine.
It's
Like
just one meal.
exactly, yeah. It's like and I think you need to have those times where you hate yourself because you ate too much, because it
Yeah,
reminds you like I'm
absolutely.
not going to do that to myself again.
Yeah.
Like the Pluckers challenge.
I always feel, yeah, true.
Never again.
I always feel at the end of the holidays, everyone's so ready to just start working out and eating good. Like, granted, it does go hand in hand with the new year, New Year's resolutions, but I truly do feel like, okay, like I got that out of my system.
Yeah,
like
it's
I'm ready
over.
to eat clean now.
Let's do it again.
But isn't there something interesting about that? It says like it's so apparent when you look at it, because the New Year is always that period of time where people start doing that, but it's because of those 3 months they spend overindulging. So like if you let your body learn what it's like to feel like shit because you ate like shit,
Yeah.
you start to train yourself out of that habit. But like it's such a short period of time that we hit the go full speed into eating like garbage for that 3 months.
Balkan season.
Yeah, but we forget, from January to like, I think they say that the common thing is by Valentine's Day, most people have given up on their New
Easily.
Year's resolution. Yeah,
Easily.
And again, I work in a gym, so firsthand I see it. We have hundreds of people sign up in January. You never see them.
I bet it's crazy.
And for
Yeah.
myself, like I don't want to go to the gym every day.
No.
I don't. I want to give up,
But
but
there'd be so many benefits if you
There is.
did.
I look at it as like instead of looking at it as like a short-term healthy, I want a healthy lifestyle. So
Yeah.
if that does mean taking a day off because I don't feel like going to the gym, I can do that because I know my consistency. I'll be back there tomorrow,
Exactly.
and I'll have a better workout
'Cause
than I would have.
Every day you don't, another day you gotta.
Whoa. Mind blown.
Yeah, I just made that up.
The thing with winter for me is, and it's going to be way different here, but the last 5 years I was living in Minneapolis, where it gets real cold for
Bro,
winter.
it gets cold as fuck here. You're gonna be so surprised. They're gonna need a jacket
Yeah.
and like boots.
I brought my jackets and my
Bro,
Timbs and shit
it's
for
a-
sure.
It's weird because you would think it's nothing, right? But like I've had times where I go out in the winter. I'm like, are you
Just like,
kidding
what?
me? It's just
Nice.
freezing.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Like, but it's a
Yeah,
different cold.
freezing like 30 though, right?
No. Like
No.
I'm talking about like cold, the type of cold you need a jacket and a sweater on underneath.
And it
it's
still
wet
doesn't
cold.
warm you up because it's just like it's the wind and it just goes through you. It's weird.
I'm telling you,
wait for
man.
it to
Like
be
you're
cold.
gonna be. It's basically all the same bullshit as being cold in Minneapolis
With
without
no
the snow.
snow.
It really is. I would say it's comparable.
So I mean, I guess this would stay relevant to here though. So when it's cold, I think the best thing is just like really like hot, hearty food. Like it tastes so
Yeah.
good, like
Oh, it
pozole or
Soul
like
food.
pasta and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
around the
feels so
fire, dude, and you're just
Yeah.
like eating
Dude,
s'mores and stuff.
I love in the cold weather like having a person, like because you get like that, I don't know, like
It's
snuggle
cuffing
up.
season.
It's that, like internal caveman instinct. Like Jordan cold, Jordan need woman to warm me. Yeah, come through my hut and warm.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You have a fireplace, don't you?
no.
No, okay. I used to have a fireplace.
Oh, you did?
The one above you.
Oh, yeah, you did.
So cool. We never used it, but it was cool.
I might get like an electric fireplace. I have an electric fireplace.
Alec
nice,
has an
too.
electric fireplace behind his front door for some
You
reason.
can have mine. I'm selling it. You can have it for free. You can seriously if you want it.
We'll discuss this later.
Yeah.
Get
Don't
into
take
details.
it. I don't want it.
I'll buy it if Brock doesn't want it for free.
Wait, what?
You're so lucky. I love your apartment, bro.
What?
And you got that
Because
big
you have
balcony.
a huge deck. Your
Yeah.
deck is long and thick.
Yeah, nice deck.
You got a great deck, bro.
Thank you.
You can
Yeah.
see it from afar.
Deck print.
And it's private. You have a deck in the back.
Yeah, no, I like my
Backdoor
apartment.
decking.
It's just
Ooh.
because I live there, because I live alone and I don't have a company often. I don't feel like very homey there.
Yeah, you need a pet, bro.
Yeah, I need something to come home to because it's just a place I sleep and eat.
So, all three of us actually in the last year have gone through a pretty significant change in life.
Oh, absolutely.
We all were like in long-term relationships since like being a little younger. With
I was a baby.
yeah, so we all went through that big change. And Alec, you've had Biggie the whole time. You got
He's
Biggie
my
a long
homie.
time ago.
OG.
For me though, like after my breakup, when I moved into the new place, I felt the same thing. I was just like, I was
Alone.
bored. Yeah. So I got a dog, and it was such a whim. Like I wanted to plan more. But a girl that joined my gym, and she joined my gym because I kept like reaching out to her. I was like, hey, you know, you said you were gonna come in, like you said you wanted to do this, let's do this, like come check it out. So she came in, she joined the gym, and like her like sister's coworker posted something, and so down a long line of Facebook advertising, her sister was giving away this dog, and I saw a picture of him, and he's like this white German Shepherd with like blue eyes, and I was like,
Beautiful.
I was like, I need.
He's a German Shepherd.
Yeah, he's a German Shepherd Husky mix.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And I right away I messaged her and I was like, hey, I was like, you know, can I meet him? So like 2 days later I went and met him, and when I went to go meet him, I like knelt down on the ground, and he came right up to me and put his face like right in my
That's
face. It was like
perfect.
this perfect amount of comfort. And I like looked at his mom, and I was like, when can I take him? So she's like, well, just think about it, and because she knew my situation. I told her I was like, you know, I'm single,
A lot
just
going
moved
on.
to a new place. Yeah, so she wanted me to think about it, and make sure I was committed.
Sure.
And I knew before when I left, I was like, I'm getting this dog. I'm gonna give her the.
That's a good first experience.
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
was
people
like,
don't get
I'm gonna
that.
give her the time to like let her think I'm thinking about it. But I'm no. So I came back like 2 days later and picked him up, and we've been boys ever since. It's like the best, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The bond and everything. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, I need a furry friend.
they're the coolest, man.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that sucks, like when they piss everywhere, and-
Right.
or like, but it's like, you know, like I was telling Brock earlier today when he came with me to check out, you know, take out my dog and walk him and stuff, and he had a PP accident today after the dog park, pissed everywhere, it was horrible. And then it got over his tail, and then he started wagging his tails,
that
and
is
piss just
She's
flying.
full of pee.
Yeah, it's terrible. And there's two dogs.
Sounds
starting
similar to
pee.
my life.
Yeah. So, but like I
Personal
get,
life.
I get when I get mad at him, it's not because he's doing bad dog things, it's because he's doing bad human things. Like if you know, I would be mad at one of my boys if he just whipped it out in the back seat, started pissing. You know, like I'd be
Yeah.
mad.
But it
like,
is a dog.
He had no way of telling me in the car. Like, you know, homie has a way of telling me when he wants to go outside, but he had no way of telling me in the car.
Yeah, that's true.
So I can't be mad at him for that. Or if I leave some food out, he's gonna eat that shit. He's hungry.
And he
doesn't
probably
get
just
it.
was holding it in for so long.
Dude,
Just
and-
like, I don't want to make Jordan mad.
Yeah,
Dude,
true.
he just it's at the dog park. He just goes into the water and sticks his face under the water and just drinks.
That's
Like he's
awesome.
just drinking the whole time. So I was like, I couldn't. He peed after he did the pee in the car. He peed like 4 more times. It was just so much urine. Like he peed in the house, but whatever. It's it's just dog shit. But if you come over to my place and piss in my house, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna hold it against you.
Maybe.
Yeah, and in the car especially, like it sucks so bad if you drink a ton of water and you have to keep like stopping. But at least you can converse and say that to someone if they're
Yeah.
driving. But like dogs have no way of doing
Yeah,
it. That must be
nothing.
so shitty to have
they-
to pee that bad and not be able to do it. Like,
They
Yeah.
both. So I stopped at a pet store with my girlfriend, and her dog was in the back, and she calls me when I'm in the pet store, and she's just like screaming, like ah, and I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what? So I go outside, and there's just like she's like has her hands up, and you know when people get covered and stuff, they're like
Yeah, just like
what do-
unsure. And
I open the door and it just smells like urine, and I can see like pee flying everywhere still. And I look in the back and we have like a waterproof like thing for them to sit in, and it's
For
just
the
like
chair,
there's just a river of urine floating back and forth between the
Urine
dog's
river.
paws, and she just got
Oh.
pee all over her and she doesn't know what to do, and she's like started crying, and I'm like, just calm down. I'm like, it's just pee, and then
that's
cleaned
true.
it up.
That's
and,
very cool. You like not to freak out. 'Cause
yeah. I think
you both would have been freaking out together.
you know, Al, so my girlfriend has anxiety. Like she has like a little bit of anxiety, and being with someone that has anxiety, I think you learn how to calm situations down a lot faster, and it helps me be more of a calm person because I see that and I care
You're
about that
aware.
person and I
Yeah.
want her to be calm.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
aware. I definitely have anxiety.
Yeah,
I have definitely anxiety issues, and I'm working on them. But there's times, man, where like, especially around like a lot of people, like concerts and stuff,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
it gets to you.
yeah, it is. It is hard. Brock, do you ever experience anything like that? You've always been a pretty
Yeah.
comfortable person.
So I think for the most part, like that's what you guys see. But in my home life, especially like relationship, love life, there are times in my last relationship where I'd handle situations poorly because I got in my own head thinking, and I would be a little irrational. But instead of like what you said, like being calm about the situation, being understanding of that, like she knew we talked about it. Like sometimes I get a certain way. And she would handle it so poorly and just kind of like battle me.
Yeah.
But then I get defensive about myself, and it's just like the worst thing that
Yeah.
could have happened
Yeah.
in that
But
situation.
That's probably the best reason. It's probably for the best that that's not the person you're with anymore.
Yeah,
Then because of that.
for sure.
And then like, even for myself, like with anxiety, I can make a situation that is not anything into something horrible just because of my thoughts and just like what's going on and my mind's racing. So like one thing that I've been doing is just breathing.
Yeah.
Just learning how to take a breath, walk away from a situation. Most likely too is just like don't engage if someone is like pushing you
Yeah.
to do something. And marijuana,
Yeah.
it's something that like makes me look at things in a different way at times. Not consistently like every day, but just here and there where I could just be like, oh, I shouldn't have freaked out about that. Next time I want to do it differently.
Right.
This is your intervention, Alec.
I know.
You're a dope head, and we all know it.
Shit.
Pothead.
Where is it?
You just sit
Where
around
is
all
it?
day watching television on the couch. You're harming. You don't know what you're doing to society.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think
I'm
a lot of
doing
times.
nothing.
I think a lot of times people they're like there's people who tote the edge, who walk the edge of the line, and there's people who like to push. And I feel like a lot of times the pushers find the toters. You know what I mean? Like that when they're seeking out relationships with people. Like it's weird because when you first meet somebody for the first year, you know them, you don't really know them because like they let you in little by little. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there's like a subconscious thing that we can figure out. Like whatever your fucked up thing is, that makes you fucked up.
Right.
We can figure out. We can sense it when other people have the complement to that, the other side of the coin. And I think a lot of times some people who are drama focused, they find a person who they can edge, the
Into
person who toes the
not-
edge,
yeah,
and
I
they're the
agree.
pusher.
Like a trigger.
Yeah, and they know it's crazy because after you've been with someone for a while, even just like your family, people who know you really well, like your whole life, there's like they know exactly what words to say. So like that, if you were to record it and like show someone else, they'd be like, that doesn't sound bad at
Nothing.
all. But like to you, it's just like they know.
Oh yeah.
I've had times in conversation someone said something and I'm just sitting there and like nothing's going on in their head. I'm just like, this motherfucker. Oh hell
And
no.
then you don't know if it's just like if it's you looking for it or if it's
Right.
there. You're like you also you just like call her a bitch and she's like, what did I do? And you're like, you know what you did. And she's
Yeah.
like, no, I don't.
I'm
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah. See, like,
Then I peel out and then I go around the block and smoke a bowl and come back.
It's like everything's good. So I do want to find out a little bit more about these chopsticks you were talking about.
Yeah, so I read an article on hacking the flavor of food with electric chopsticks.
Hacking food.
Yes, so what they're saying is
Future.
if you use these chopsticks, they will like shock your tongue and make you like say you eat chicken, it can make it into like a saltier version of the chicken or like a flavor almost with how much electricity goes through the chopsticks.
That's crazy.
So they're saying if this does work and it's what it's cracked up to be, salt, like the biggest epidemic in the U.S. with like diabetes and things, it can beat the salt stuff.
Oh, so it tricks your brain.
Yeah. I took a look at the same article, and do you see the part where they said like you could even like say for example you're eating broccoli and the chopsticks could make it so you taste cheesecake.
Yeah.
Do you remember in one of the first episodes we did of this podcast, we were talking about how in the future food is just gonna be like sludge, but you can have it taste
Oh,
however
yeah,
you
yeah,
want.
yeah.
That's totally where this is going.
Yeah.
Easily.
That is so crazy. I mean,
Concerns. My biggest concern with that is like you can still overeat food that's not bad for you. You know, like,
Yeah.
so like because there's certain food pairings that you can eat in order to keep eating, and it'll make your body
Like
force
salty,
your body,
sweet, like
force your body into it, and we naturally go for that. Like we don't even. It's something a lot of us don't even understand, but like we naturally do it. It's just like a natural thing your brain does in order to make room and eat food. So like I feel like we can still overindulge quite a bit, even if we're eating things that are better for us.
One concern that I would have is one thing that I was reading was when you do eat certain type of foods, like say a piece of broccoli or a chicken, your taste buds and saliva is recognizing what's in your mouth, and then it goes to your stomach health.
Yeah.
So if you do want to digest it and you think it's cheesecake, like your stomach's just gonna be like, what? And then throw everything off. So you're still almost, your mind is thinking you're eating something sweet and bad for you.
You know, I think
Do you think there's a semen flavor?
My biggest concern, that seems pretty obvious, is putting electricity in your mouth. Like, that seems dangerous.
I mean, there's electricity in our body as it is always.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not a lot, but
just like purposely putting electricity onto something that you're putting in your mouth sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Just it sounds
Yeah,
like you're asking to
there's-
get because you are asking to check yourself.
There could
That's
be a
the whole
lot of
point.
different bad things to that. And
yeah.
the sludge thing too. Like, what if you are eating like no nutrition,
Yeah.
like sludge?
well, we do that now.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
So
I had eaten I was out and about today like all morning, and I was sort of nursing a little bit of a hangover. Like I had a little one, it was lingering,
Yeah.
and I was hungry, and I went to Wendy's and I got like a burger.
4 for 4.
No, I got a burger.
soak up the alcohol.
I got a burger, I want a little burger, and then I was like, I'm gonna do something good for myself, and I got a chicken salad,
Yeah.
like a chicken like avocado salad.
Ooh,
And as I was-
Wendy's avocado.
As I was eating it, I was just like, I ate all of that, and I felt like I didn't eat anything. Like my body is so used to like nutritionally dense food. After ate all that shit, it was a lot of food, and I just like didn't feel anything. I was like empty still.
Not even like an air feeling, just
Nothing,
empty.
dude.
Damn.
I literally felt like I ate nothing.
Crazy.
And
So still hungry.
yeah, I was so hungry. And but it's interesting because like I get these little bars. They're called RX bars,
Oh, yeah.
and I get those, and I'll eat. Like I'll keep them in my car, in my bag, going to my work, whatever. And I'll munch those, and those make me feel like they
Super
satisfy my hunger,
dense.
and they're so small. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like they're so small. That's the thing that trips me out. Is like you can eat a lot of like not nutritionally dense food and feel nothing. That's what Chinese food is. What people all say that the whole thing where like you'll be hungry in an hour is because it's food, but it's not food. It's not the same. It doesn't have nutrients, and that's what our body's looking for when you're hungry. is
Yeah.
Nutrients,
Yeah, that's true.
not just to fill a gap.
So are you eating meat again?
Oh fuck yeah, bro! so
This is news.
Yeah, I was a vegetarian for 2.5 months or so, and towards that last like half of that last half month, I started eating more fish. I was eating like salmon and tuna and sardines. I like sardines, but the first day that I ate like beef, because I haven't eaten turkey yet. I didn't really care for turkey. So the first day I ate beef, I got these like grass fed beef patties from HEB. I got 4 of them.
Hell yeah.
And I went home and at lunch that day I made a little burger with like avocado and hummus on it and like spinach. It was so good.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, and I ate that and it just triggered this thing in my brain. I ate all 4 of the other patties. I was
Just overindulged.
Yeah.
What?
Then the next morning,
You probably needed it.
the next morning, I went to the grocery store before work, and I was gonna pick up some more of those patties, and they didn't have them out yet. So I went after lunch, and then picked them up again, and ate another box of them, and I just got
4?
I just got 2 boxes of them when I went, or 2
Holy
little things
shit.
of them. Dude, they're not very big. Like they're small enough patties to fit on like an English muffin, pretty normally, but like. It's just I felt so it's like it's crazy.
Just from the the
Yeah.
meat and things. And I feel like you know your body well enough to where
Yeah.
if you are overeating in a bad way,
Yeah.
you're aware. So that might be something
I
you
will
need.
say the one thing I noticed the most is like when I was a vegetarian, I could come home and I'd eat huge salads, like just fucking like giant mixing bowl salads, because that's the first time I eat. It's usually in the midday, and I wouldn't get sleepy, but like as I started like kind of testing the waters, I started eating salmon at lunch, and I get really tired because high in fat content takes your body a long time to break that down.
Sure.
But like when I ate those burgers, like I got so tired,
Yeah,
like I just
yeah,
shut
sure.
down. But because beef takes a long time for your body to
I
break
bet,
down.
yeah.
But yeah, it was so good, and I just had burgers again yesterday.
Hell
And,
yeah.
So yesterday I was out at Lake Conroe, and actually one of my friends, her father's a very famous chef in Houston.
Yeah.
Chef Charles Carroll. Shout out Chef Charles Carroll.
Shout
He has a
out.
few podcasts. Maybe
Hashtag.
sometime we'll bring him on the show and chat with him. But he made us burgers and stuff, and I was like sitting there thinking because he's cooked me for us before, and I was like, people pay this guy dick loads of money to make them food, and
That's
he's
a lot.
Like, you know,
Cooking
like
for free.
Like we all ate, and he was like, "Does anybody else want any more burgers?" And I was like the only person raising. I was like, "Me, give me 2 more."
Did you tip him?
No, dude, I said thank you. Though.
Did he
I'm just
enjoy
joking.
doing it?
Yeah, he loves cooking. You can
Yeah,
tell.
I'm
Like
sure.
it's a big production for him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, just busting out this and that. Like they take so much time in organizing all the preparation, so it just looks like everything's just neatly done. And
I'm sure his grill
dude, yeah.
was the shit.
Actually, no.
No?
I'm sorry. It's pretty normal grill.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
He
like
didn't
a-
have like.
It was just like a normal
I
round one.
take it back.
He did some stuff I don't understand. Like he didn't put the coals in. He put them in like a big tube and then like heated them in the
charcoal?
tube.
Oh, so he knows. I
Yeah.
heard about that.
Charcoal?
Yeah, it's so good though, bro. Like
Hell yeah.
every patty he like did hand by hand, and he like mixed up some sauces and their kitchen utensils. Because the mom is a chef too, so she's a chef.
Oh,
for a
damn.
lot of-
Stainless steel stuff?
dude. Like
Kids are eating good.
Yeah, it's so good. Like their family is so healthy and like lean.
Just aware.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Funniest thing though is like, so my friend Kelsey, her boyfriend, that he was there, and he's like the most picky eater ever. So it was kind of funny that like he gets involved with a family that's like super into foods, and he's not. He's a very
No,
picky
he's
eater.
not like.
Yeah.
He's not going for new experiences, really.
I was a really picky eater growing up, and I can't imagine having like parents that are like culinary chefs, like do it
Yeah.
big with a bunch of seasonings and like vegetables and stuff like that. Because as a kid, I'd be like, I just want a chicken sandwich, or like
Yeah.
PBJ, and they're like, Are you serious? Like, I just cooked this whole thing for you, and you just want.
I just want Pop Tarts.
Yeah, right. Uncrustables.
The first time I had an avocado was like sophomore year, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is this green shit?"
Avocado's pretty good. I'm a big fan. Are you all?
No, I love them.
Yeah, I love them now. I first had mine when I was like 20, probably. Like it took me a long time to get there, but when I did, like I love it now.
Yeah.
I buy them.
You know what? Sometimes I'll do is I'll cut an avocado in half, like because sometimes I get too many, and they'll be close to going bad. And I'll cut it in half, and I'll just sprinkle Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper, and like a little bit of
Yeah.
Tabasco sauce on it, and just eat it right out of the skin. I love it.
I'll substitute it for carbs.
Yeah.
So like if I don't want to do rice or anything like that and just cut my carbs, I'll
Avocado.
just do avocado. Because growing up, there's always been a side of carbs and then like meat, and then everything was based around that. So I'm like trying to change my mind to thinking of carbs.
How we've learned how to eat is such bullshit.
Yeah.
Horrible, dude.
So
The
when
food
I-
pyramid.
When I was going through my stuff for like certification for nutrition and stuff, like what they give you is just nothing that's really you can apply to real people. It's all bullshit. And it's just weird because that's the standard, right? So like for me to have the permission to do my job, it's like you need to know this made up shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You have to have your own experiences to make it work.
Because if I taught people, if I guided people by the textbook standard, nobody get anywhere.
Wasn't the food pyramid created to like help certain industries
Yeah.
survive?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, I'd watched a video where this guy broke down breakfast for me one time. So like if you were to say your breakfast is like eggs, bacon, orange juice.
Right.
So those three things, like staples, right? When you think about breakfast.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so an egg is an
And a side
aborted.
of bread.
He referred to an egg as like an aborted chicken fetus, which made it not sound as appetizing. But even though I disagree, I think the egg is the best protein you could the
Same.
most
I love
complete
eggs.
thing you could put in your body. Yeah, it's great. They don't hurt the chicken. It's awesome.
Yeah, unless the only thing I could say is like animal cruelty to the
Yeah.
chicken. But if you have your own chickens,
Yeah.
which I want to do one day,
Sometimes they kick chickens, you know, in the factories. They're kickable. They're the perfect size and shape. But anyway, so the second thing was bacon. So it's like
bacon,
fried
yeah. Ass.
pork ass. Yeah, which is a weird thing because pigs are disgusting animals. They can't sweat through their skin, so they just hold all that salt and sodium in. And then the third thing was orange juice. Like, so a glass of orange juice is probably like 5 oranges in total. So it's like sitting down and just eating 5 oranges without all the things that make it beneficial, like the fiber and
the orange juice
skin.
industry I heard is all fucked up.
Yeah.
But
Really?
just like how they make it.
Like-
Yeah, it's not actually
What
orange
about where
juice.
they get the oranges?
Some of it's not even orange juice.
Yeah.
Like in real, it's just flavored
Dude,
water.
Have you seen the stuff with the cabbage and lettuce?
Not even water.
So like, there's actually, either of y'all seen
Yeah,
this?
I've seen it. You showed
Yeah.
me actually.
So there's ways that you can make cabbage and lettuce. Basically, it looks like they have a little pool of water and then like 3 different colors of like liquid, like white, green.
It's like
and another.
dipping a
Oh.
T-shirt in
Yeah.
like
And then
a
like
dye thing.
You-
they ladle it in and like spin it and then like push down on it and then ladle in more. So like layers and layers, and then you come out with cabbage.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
hell?
It's so
messed
fucked
me
up.
up.
Man. That's over in like China though.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
know
I
if
even
that's
heard
your
like
area.
the lettuce in the what is it called, romaine?
Yeah. Oh.
Is like
It was a
what
huge
Crohn's
issue.
comes from.
Yeah.
Like majority,
love
unless
romaine.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like really bad for your colon.
That stinks.
I know a lot of people with Crohn's disease, and it's no
pun
joke.
intended.
Crohn's is horrible. Like Crohn's is just not like there's just foods that just turn on you. Like
Yeah.
like it's Brock. It's like you loving your Uncrustables, and they're just like so happy and yummy in your stomach. And then one day Uncrustables is like, hey Brock, fuck you, and they just destroy your gut.
That's
My buddy had to carry toilet paper in his truck
Yeah,
because he had Crohn's and he actually got sent to the hospital
dude. You know, there's like the two versions
and
of it.
is
Like
on steroids for it.
ones you don't poop and ones you poop a lot or you can't. Like I don't know.
Those
maybe,
are both extremes.
No, let me rephrase that because I might be misunderstanding it. He might have carried the toilet paper around because he had to poop any chance he got.
That was his
yeah.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I know a girl who she says she only poops every 2 weeks.
Okay, so
What?
I've pause on that note. I've ran into that problem so much. I like sell vitamins and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Every day there's a girl that comes in and says, "How can I poop? Like, what can I take to poop? Because it's been so long."
Wow.
It's
You
like
know, it's sometimes
weeks.
it's common for eating disorders to lead to Crohn's.
Well, one thing that I know, even with like people that are close to me, like women, is they will go a long period of time without eating, and then their metabolism will slow down. So when they do eat something, it just doesn't work, and their food sits there and just gets all the nutrients it can because it doesn't know when it's going to eat it, like get more. So in that aspect, you won't go to the bathroom. And a lot of people like to do like the fasting. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna fast majority of my day, but
That's the big new thing, I think.
it's not like a fast from eating a lot. It's just like a year of fasting
Yeah.
every morning or every day,
Yeah.
and then your stomach
People
just stops
aren't doing
working.
it right.
I can imagine not pooping for 2 weeks.
I can't imagine not pooping for a day.
And you know how uncomfortable you'd be like and a lot of
Oh,
them are,
yeah.
and a lot of them are female, so I feel like that would interrupt like your sex life. You can't be having sex with a stomach full of poop.
Yeah, feel sexy.
Yeah, no. Because what if it? Yeah. Oh, ugh.
Yeah.
No.
So it's insane, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really serious. Like, it's really not funny, you know? And we laugh about
I've
it.
had a lot of people ask me.
Yeah. I mean, I sat in the hospital with a friend of mine, and she had Crohn's and some IBS issues, and I like went to the hospital with her because we didn't know what was going on with her. Turns out she had to poop, or she couldn't. She
She couldn't poop.
To kind of, like...
Takashi 969.
To tell a funny story on this similar situation without making fun of it, I have a really close friend in Minneapolis. His name is Marcos, and he told me a story about one time he thought there was something going wrong, like exploded in his stomach, and something was going terribly wrong.
Wow.
He got like airlifted from a helicopter. They're at like summer camp or something like that. He got airlifted from a helicopter back to like a Mayo Clinic, which is like one of the best hospitals in the country in Minnesota, and they found out that he was just constipated.
Yeah.
They like airlifted him helicopter because they thought he was gonna die.
Damn, it's
Like,
in
it was
so
urgent
much
as hell.
pain.
And then they got there and he's like, yeah, it must have been bad.
Yeah, like, he
it
probably
must have been really bad. But he
a
was so
shit show.
embarrassed when they told him. He's like, yeah, you're just constipated. And they gave him some stuff.
Just
and
take
shit,
some
and it was
like
better.
Pepto-Bismol. That's not good for you either, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I think like nurses and doctors, they just go through so many things, man.
We're gonna say so much shit.
No.
Oh. This has been episode 6 of the Jab Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in.
Whoop whoop.
As always, we want to say thank you to the listeners.
And the people who ask questions, I got Angela Jean. Send us your shirt size and the address. We'll send that shirt out to you.
And we got Hopkins A3. Amber, thank you for shouting out to us. Keep the questions coming, guys. We really appreciate it. We love the engagement that our fans have been showing.
DMs are open.
We
Yeah.
post it every Monday.
Slide in the DMs.
Let's
Yes.
do it.
And on September 9th, you can catch us at Axelrad.
Slip and slide time, because Houston is building a swimming hole.
Swimming hole. Come dip your toes in at the swimming hole.
Yeah.
As always, this is People Call Me Jay.
Young Al.
And this is Breezy Rando. We love you.
Thank you. We out.
Stay cool, Houston.
Watch out for the jab. Watch out for the jab. Watch out for the jab.
My whole crew out.